I said everything nice last year that I had. I've really run out of nice things to say. I looked through my speech last year, standing in this room at the 50th wedding anniversary, and I have to say it was a damn fine speech. And for those of you who haven't seen the DVD, there is an opportunity to relive the wonderful moment as edited by Vern Shepherd, and I'm sure you will get to see that in the fullness of time if you haven't already. Copies are available at $9.95. And Vern will be happy to autograph them for you. However, there's a few things I'd like to add to last year's brilliant speech. The first of those is that I didn't have the opportunity to detail some of those intricate experiences, those experiences that really shape your life as my other siblings have recorded over time. And I think that the first one that I really remember is Mum taking us to Burley Pool. Botany Burley Pool. Now, Burley Pool was a beautiful crystal clear pool and used to run at about 13 degrees. And Mum said, kids, we're going for a swim. We're going to Burley Pool. And we'd all get so excited, and we'd get there, and we'd be frozen within an inch of our lives. You know, I think there were ice cubes floating in Burley Pool. Exactly right. Exactly right. The boys would disappear. But Mum always took us out to Burley because when I said to her, and I think this probably, defines Mum's tact and ability to swerve around issues, is that when I said to her, Mum, I think we need a pool. We really need a pool. It's so hot. I hose Marty, he's hosed me. We need a pool. And Mum said, darling, what would we do with the hoist? And I looked out the back, and there's this clothes hoist spinning around, and I've gone, I've got no idea. We need a hoist. And from that day on, I was thinking to myself, will I ever be able to have a pool in my yard, or will I really have to have the Hills hoist spinning around in the middle? So we just used the clothes dryer. But Mum had some great answers. And I think the other thing too is that when we went to Joey's, and Mum and Dad drove up and back and up and back and up and back and up and back in the car, they just put the car on autopilot. Just like the woman who sued Winnebago because she put her car on cruise control and went out the back to make a cup of coffee and successfully sued them because the Winnebago crashed. Well, Mum said the car would go backwards and forwards from East Lakes to Joey's several times a weekend, and I really do now. At the time, I had no comprehension of the logistics involved. It was just Mum would turn up, Dad would turn up. Yes, mate. Let's begin. I'll get to you in a second. Mum and Dad would turn up. The girls would be there. Mum would have this magnificent afternoon tea. Nigel Chong would come over and eat all our food. She'd spread the blanket on the lawn if it was a nice day, or we'd eat in the car on a rainy day at Joey's. All 14 of us would be in this car trying to eat chocky ring cake. I know. What a great experience to remember. And I think that Mum did all these things, was able to do this, and it was just a fantastic experience. And I can remember that, she came up and back from Joey's. And for us, it was like, oh, Mum's going to be here in a minute. I'll get some chocolate ring cake. Beauty. Here she is. Get some chocolate. Bye, Mum. Bye, Mum. And I had no idea about dressing the girls and cooking the cake and making sure the petrol in the car and everything else that Mum and Dad did. Yes, good. Mum and Dad did. And I really appreciate that more and more having these two. Having 40% of your load, I appreciate having 40% of your load. I appreciate how much work was involved in that, and how wonderful the experience was for us, and how much you did when we were at Joey's, which is great. I do have to say though, youngsters, that I was the person who paved the way with Mum.
Yeah, this is true.
While Mart,
I don't know if that's true.
While Mart was out. And as I said, and it's been edited out of my DVD from last year, but as I said last year, Mum and Dad had to put up with hundreds of different boyfriends and girlfriends, and that was just Mart. And while Mart was out doing that, Mum saying to me, what time are you coming home tonight? I'm going, oh, well, Mum, I'm going to a party. Well, what time are you coming home? I said, look, it's probably going to go till about 2. No, it's not. And I go, Mum, Meredith Kirby is throwing a party on her boat for everybody who's in English 1, you know? Well, you can go, but you have to get a taxi home. And I'm going, Mum, everyone's going to sleep on the boat. Don't be ridiculous. No, you're going to get a taxi home. And so meanwhile, I'm
exaggerating.
Children
don't exaggerate.
Notice how Mum's forgotten. So at first year uni, I had to get a taxi home. Mark, we're like...
Shag Meredith Kirby.
got his own taxi home to Ross Street, Lee, at 6 a.m. At 6 o'clock in the morning. Unbelievable. So while I'm there, you know, paying the rent, mowing the lawns, turning up at 11:59 p.m, Mark's out there having a good time. I think you all need to know that I did the hard yards, right?
I did the hard yards, expanding the boundaries while Nick was staying at home.
So, but Mum, I appreciated that it was all based on concern for me, and which I greatly appreciate. Now I'm going to wind up by saying that we couldn't possibly have a better mother. We all know that. It's fantastic. I said to someone this week that we were celebrating your 80th birthday here at Sutton Forest. They said, "Who's going?" And I said, "I've got a brother, 3 sisters, all their husbands, wives, to-be, partners, etc. Our kids, their kids, etc. Mum and Dad." And they said, "What a nice thing to do." And it is, and it's great to be here. And I think, Mum, I can't express how happy we are to celebrate your 80th birthday. I know you have many more to come. We look forward to celebrating them as we go. With Kate's wedding coming up, which is going to be a wonderful celebration. And I would suggest to everybody that in 2 years' time, in 2 years' time,
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Girls, my suggestion is that Mum and Ginny, Kathy, Buppy, Bridge, Kate, and Elijah, if you like, can come here to Sutton Forest while Dad, Nick, Mark, Paul, Alan, Roo, and James head to the Gold Coast to play golf, to go to the casinos, to have a few quiet ales together, to watch the rugby games at Ballymore, Suncorp Stadium. Exactly right. Mum, happy birthday.